There are some theories about how money impacts you. Some people say money changes someone. Your character changes if you get money. What is your idea on that? What does making a lot of money do to someone?
Yes and no. So one, it does change you. If you're a giving person, if you're a humble person, if you like giving charity, if you like helping people out, money can help accentuate that. Does it change people? Yes, it changed me for sure. It could change the people around you. You know, you grew up with people, you're at the same level, you went to the same schools or whatever, but if you start exceeding that person from a monetary perspective, that person can feel some type of way towards you. So they can start saying that, hey, you changed, or you're so arrogant right now. And yeah, I'm flashy. I'm 100% flashy, but I was always flashy. Whatever I had at that moment, I was flashy.
And you work for it.
Yeah, it makes me feel good. So I'm sorry if it does,
Yeah.
but it makes me feel good.
This is also an interesting topic, right?
Yeah.
So this is like what happens when you make money, and how do you like allocate this money,
Yeah.
but also how does money impact you? There are some theories about how money impacts you. Some people say money changes someone. Your character changes if you get money. What is your idea on that? What does making a lot of money do to someone?
Yeah, so yes and no. So one, it does change you, but also, well, figure out where it doesn't change you. No, so it doesn't change you, right? If you're a giving person, if you're a humble person, if you like giving charity, if you like helping people out, money can help accentuate that.
Yeah.
Like now, I don't give my small little donations. Now it's like, hey, some influential donations, right?
Yeah.
So now some charities that I looked at my P&L and, I think I had like $25,000 worth of charity spent that I had last year. I'm like, whoa, that's a lot of dang money. That's like half my
nice,
salary back in
right?
the day. And now it's like, okay, maybe do more going forward. How much can I afford like later on? I don't know how much I could afford, how much I feel like. So that it's good to be able to have money to do those type of things, right? But then on the offsetting thing is, I've seen some bad people that have like a lot of money and they have arrogance to them, and in a very negative way. I have arrogance to me, yes. It might be a little too much for other people, it might be too little, but like for me, it's fine. I have like my community friends, whatever.
Yeah.
But some people might say it's too much. But I've seen some like really bad people that you could tell like, hey, you're not a nice guy, and that money made you not a worse guy, right?
Made you even worse.
Yeah.
So basically, money emphasizes someone's character.
Exactly.
Right?
That's a better, easier way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Right? Someone who is nice and giving and shares their last $100
Yes.
will also share their first million.
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
But someone who's a jerk and is already a jerk when they're poor, like imagine becoming rich and being that from the inside. Right. So, yeah.
But like, and then does it change people? Yes, it changed me for sure. Like, one, it could change the people around you, in the sense that like we talked about this before, where you grew up with people, you're at the same level, you went to the same schools or whatever, but if you start exceeding that person from a monetary perspective, that person can feel some type of way towards you.
Yes.
Because maybe they're not happy within themselves.
Yeah.
They might think that like, oh, hey, we were at the same level, how come you're there? You don't deserve that. I'm smarter than you. Why did you get to that level? So they have some resentment. So they can start saying that, hey, you changed, or you're so arrogant right now. You're flashy. You're showing off money and stuff, and
because they don't have it.
They don't have it, right?
Gotcha.
So your relationship with that person will change, and I have lost relationships because of that. And then also when you're at that level, or for me, is I also don't relate to some of the stuff that they talk about. It's sometimes, if you hang out with your friends from, like, say, high school, it's like it's the same conversation. We're looking at our sports. We're talking about people from 20 years ago, and that's it. It's like the common interests are gone. They are at their 9-to-5 job, and they don't like talking about it. So then they don't want to talk about your business. So then they don't talk about anything, right? So then it's just like little jokes, but it's not stimulating you mentally.
You grow apart.
Yeah, you grow apart. And then I meet somebody like you in Dubai that is doing big things, adding Airbnb units, doing social media, doing education communities, doing fun things that like I want to be a part of, motivate me.
Yeah.
Right. Your growth and your development motivates me want to do more. I'm competitive. Like, hey, Redeet's doing it, I'm gonna do it too. Yeah. And I need people like that, you know, to put a fire under me. So that's why we've been vibing, right? And I need somebody to be like, hey, let's go experience something cool in Saudi Arabia. Let's leave Dubai, Saudi Arabia. Let's go to F1 boxing fight. Like, I need somebody to be around that I can like, you know, feel good around too. And you're like, all right, let's do it. Like, I need somebody like that, like gonna do things versus somebody, oh no, I have a job, I can't do it, it's too much money. Like,
responsibility, that, you know, whatever.
So I love that, right? And I want to be around more people that I could vibe with too. So yeah, you change a little bit in that sense, you know.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm flashy. I'm 100% flashy, but I was always flashy. Whatever I had at that moment, I was flashy.
Man, you worked for it.
Yeah. So,
you
but now it's
deserve
like
it, right?
extenuating. Like, it's like, oh, the cars pull up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. So I'm sorry if it does.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel good. You know?
You have the right to do that, right? You worked for it. You succeeded.
Right.
You took the risk.
Right.
Because you had a job, man. You had a good job. Like what a lot of people would consider a very good job, and you decided, you know what, I'm going to quit it, and I'm going to pursue my dreams. I'm going to start a company, and you had the ability to grow it for 7 years throughout COVID.
Right.
So then you deserve to be flashy if you want to, right? So especially if at the same time you also like give to charities, and you help people out.
Right.
I mean, you make great content on social media. I think people should really follow you. Syed BNB, right? I think even for me as well, right? When I started my journey last year, I took my first apartment in June last year, and you were one of the people I followed, right, on social media. You speaking like factual about things and giving like good information, albeit a different market. It's the USA, but still, you know, growing a business in the same industry, whether it's in this market or in that market, can teach you a lot of things. And it helped me as well, right? So, and like looking at your content back then, and now being good friends with you and going to a trip to Saudi and hang out and learn from each other is amazing. So
we had great conversations. Like, we were talking about business, life, everything. It just like fit really well. It's really good.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's amazing. So before we wrap up, I just want to maybe go over the one mistake that you made that you would like want to explain here in the podcast, so our listeners, viewers can avoid that one mistake when they start their own Airbnb business.
Yeah, so maybe I have one or two maybe I could talk about, but like one big mistake in my business that I wish I could go back in time was, even though I handled COVID successfully, where I got through COVID and I was able to scale back up.
Yeah.
But I was way too quick to let go of units during COVID because I thought like life was going to be over with like this business. So I wanted to reduce risk as much as possible. So I had 180 units before COVID, and I terminated 90 of those units.
Half of
them units. And those 90 I want on revenue share, the 90. But I wish I kind of like saw COVID out a little bit, because I could have continuously stayed in those units, because it's COVID on a daily basis started getting worse and worse and worse. Everyone stopped paying, you know, but I was quick to like terminate the lease, right? Yeah. So, you know, that's decreased my growth to go back up, but I'm happy where I'm at today. But my other mistakes that I have in my business, that there's sometimes, it's scary for people starting this business, but there's sometimes guests that can simply ruin the relationship that you have with your landlord. They do something so bad that the landlord has 15, 20 units with you and will let you go out of those 20 units. He cannot deal with the headaches. So I've had countless situations like that, where that's why I have furnished 600 units in my business now, and I only have 300 at the moment.
So I've lost 600.
600, yes.
That you started. Yeah. So you lost 300
over the time of landlords letting go of 50 units slowly because, hey, this guy's causing too much problems. Yeah. But there's always one crazy situation in my market that happens that makes me lose it, you know?
Yeah.
So
So it's like
I wish I
avoiding-
didn't approve that guest.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
guest
yeah,
made me
yeah.
lose 50 units. That guest you made me lose 15 units. I lost $1 million because it's one person. You know, it's like you think that in your head. You
Yeah,
know.
but it's kind of collateral damage as well, right?
Yeah,
It's part of doing
yeah,
a business.
Right,
What can
right,
you do?
yeah, exactly. That's why I still make my money, right? As long as you make money, it's okay.
It's
but
good,
like,
right?
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
lose on even like a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Just recently had a crazy party.
Yeah.
And that crazy party ended up making him lose 15 units. And then it's his first time that happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's my 5th time. You know, like I lost crazy style because of
Yeah.
that. So it's like you'll learn. Everything that I go. He's like 1 year behind me on the feelings of
Yeah.
what has happened. He's
Yeah.
always been like that.
Yeah.
Even though he's like surpassing me in units now, but I've gone through everything he's gone through, right? So it's just like 1 year delay, you know.
Experience is
Yeah.
crucial,
Yeah.
super important, I imagine. So, one more thing before you wrap
Yeah.
up. What would your number one, you kind of talked about it already, but what would your number one advice be to someone who's watching this podcast, listen to all of this, and is still doubting, should I start? Shouldn't I do it? Okay, I can make a plan. What would your number one advice be?
My number one advice is learn and take action. So that is my advice. Bet on yourself, say you're a winner, and make it happen.
Amazing. That's a great advice. Thank you, Syed.
Thank you. It
Really
was a good
appreciate this
conversation, a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And follow Syed BNB.
Yeah, on Instagram,
Yeah.
at Syed BNB, and that's where I will post my life, my personal brand. Everything is there.
And this guy is a veteran, so follow him for real. He's going to teach you a lot. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.